Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Norwegian journalist shares what Martin Odegaard told him about his injury after Aston Villa defeat. Arsenal are taking on Bayern Munich this week, and there is a worry in the air around the skipper Martin Odegaard, who went off with an apparent injury against Aston Villa yesterday. Odegaard was taken off by Mikel Arteta against Aston Villa in what many thought was a surprise move. At full time, Mikel Arteta explained, albeit briefly, why Odegaard was taken off. He said, he had a leg issue, that's why he was taken off. However, with Bayern in today's time, Arsenal fans will be worried about whether or not Odegaard has enough time to recover and be a part of the squad. The Norwegian has been integral all season long, and Arsenal need all their best players when they make the trip to the Allianz on Wednesday. Well, according to Norwegian journalist Sebastian Pedersen, there is little for Arsenal fans to be too worried about when it comes to Martin Odegaard. Taking to his X account on social media, Pedersen quoted a tweet from Fabrizio Romano which showed Arteta's comments about Odegaard's injury. However, putting to bed any major worry, Pedersen shared what Odegaard apparently told Norwegian channel VG Sporten after the game. Any sort of injury to Martin Odegaard is always going to cause an issue for Arsenal, especially so in the midst of a week where they play a Champions League quarter-final. This comment from Odegaard to the media from his homeland is a good sign though, and really it's a good job. He looks like being fit. Odegaard has been absolutely vital for Arsenal all season, as well as leading from the front as a skipper. The midfielder has also contributed big moments. Further, Odegaard is also one of the few Arsenal players out of the attacking six who regularly play 90 minutes. That shows the trust Mikel Arteta has in him and just how important he is. As it stands, it looks like Odegaard will play against Bayern Munich, and that in itself is massive news for the Gunners. David Seaman says £30 million Arsenal player made everyone nervous against Aston Villa. Arsenal legend David Seaman has now been commenting on one performance against Aston Villa yesterday, which really troubled fans. The Arsenal icon was speaking on the Seaman Says podcast and singled out Oleksandr Zinchenko for a bit of criticism. Seaman thought Zinchenko gave the ball away in important positions against Aston Villa and was making everyone at the Emirates nervous. He explained, watching Zinchenko in that left back position, I know he likes to go into midfield, but sometimes he gives the ball away in really important positions. He got caught out a couple of times, and that puts everybody on edge. And in truth, it's really hard to argue with David Seaman's words on this occasion. The left back's performance did hurt Arsenal. It almost feels as if the £30 million defender is out of sync with his teammates right now, which was perhaps best illustrated by a moment in the first half. Villa midfielder Nicolo Zaniolo was down injured off the ball, but as per the rules and ref discretion, Arsenal were allowed to play on and continue their attack, and Zinchenko's decision to then kick the ball out of play met a chorus of boos around the Emirates. Yes, it was a sporting gesture that deserves applause, but it felt out of sync with the ruthless team Arsenal have become. Zaniolo's issues wasn't a head injury, and Arsenal were in full flow. Zinchenko obviously doesn't deserve chastising for this incident alone, far from it, but it almost felt like a microcosm of his predicament right now. The reaction in the Emirates to Zinchenko wasn't right, but the moment did feel like a turning point. Zinchenko has been a fine player for Arsenal, and he definitely still has a place in his squad, but it feels as if his game does need to be tweaked. He needs to match the direction the team is heading in. £38 million player who has played just 50 minutes this season can soon change everything for Arsenal. If Jurriën Timber was fully fit right now, it feels like Arsenal would be in a much stronger position. It seems like an odd thing to say, considering Timber has played just 50 competitive minutes this season, but he was so key to Arteta's vision. Fortunately, the £38 million defender is now very close to a return and could still have a say in the title race, a player who has been so sorely missed. Timber seemed intended as Arsenal's starting left back this season, a player who could thrive in all four positions at the back. The Dutchman wouldn't play every game for Arteta on the left, but provided a blend of differing skill sets of Jakub Kivior and Zinchenko. Jurriën Timber was Arsenal's new Ben White on the other side, and to be robbed of a player of that caliber so cruelly due to an injury in the open game of the season shouldn't be understated. Timber can change everything for Arteta in this next few weeks if he can first prove his fitness with the under 23s. Having been out for so long, most players would just wait until next season, but Timber is needed and he could be Arsenal's secret weapon. The title race isn't over yet, and Timber could still be crucial to Arsenal clawing back their lead. Declan Rice claims Aston Villa player never stopped running against Arsenal. Following Aston Villa's 2-0 win against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium, Declan Rice was full of praise for one player. Villa defeated the Gunners in a surprising result that has changed the course of the Premier League title race. That Arsenal defeat has put Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in the driving seat at the top of the Premier League standings. Rice was speaking to the media after the defeat at the Emirates Stadium when he praised the Aston Villa players. A few of Villa's players, according to Rice, are technically unreal, and Ollie Watkins is a constant threat up top. While speaking to Sky Sports, the England international said, "It's tough, really tough to take, especially when the chances we had in the first half, the spaces there was, we had to take one of them because in the Premier League, teams will come back to bite you and hurt you. That's what Villa did in the second half. We've been so dominant in games, but Villa have got some unbelievable players, technically unreal, and Oli up front is a constant goal threat. If you can't win games of football, don't lose. Look up at the clock with 15 to go and it's 0-0. If you aren't going to win, then you take a point, especially in the situations. So to lose is a real kick in the teeth." £44 million Bayern Munich star could make last-minute recovery and be fit to face Arsenal on Wednesday. Arsenal take on Bayern Munich, hoping to come out on top and seal a place in the Champions League semi-finals. After a miserable weekend in which the Gunners were beaten comfortably by Aston Villa, Mikel Arteta's side are now looking to bounce back quickly. A trip to Munich should be something the Arsenal players relish. After all, these are the games that the top players all supposedly want to play in, and with such a prize at stake, it's a great opportunity for the Arsenal players to bounce back. For Bayern, it's also a massive chance for them to turn their season around. The league title went to Bayer Leverkusen this weekend to leave Harry Kane and co disappointed. However, the Champions League could still be on. Of course, we saw over the weekend that Kingsley Coman picked up a serious injury and is almost certainly going to miss the rest of the season. However, another player who missed the weekend through injury, Leroy Sané, could end up giving Thomas Tuchel's side a boost. According to a report from a German outlet Bild, Sané is now pushing hard to be fit for the clash with Arsenal on Wednesday. The German winger missed the weekend win over Cologne, but is apparently undergoing heavy treatment to get himself ready for the game with the Gunners. Sané, bought for around £44 million by Bayern, will be key for Tuchel, especially with the pace and the trickery of Coman missing on the other side. With Coman out injured, having Sané's pace to call on down the flank is going to be massive for the German side. Indeed, for Arsenal's wounded defense, Sané could be a big problem. We saw this weekend how Arsenal struggled with the pace and directness of the likes of Ollie Watkins and Leon Bailey. Sané is very much a similar sort of player, and after seeing the Gunners this weekend, he will be relishing getting at the back four. Pundit says 24-year-old now has the quality to be absolutely brilliant if he signed for Arsenal. Oleksandr Isak has enjoyed an outstanding campaign with Newcastle United. Both Mikel Arteta and Edu are big admirers of Isak, and after he scored twice for Newcastle against Tottenham on Saturday, Robbie Mustoe told the two Robbies that the Sweden international looks to be perfect for Arsenal. He said, I know that Arsenal may be looking for a centre forward, and I know Newcastle United said that he isn't going anywhere. But if there is a centre forward, if anybody asks me who Arsenal should go and buy, it's Oleksandr Isak. He's got the class, the quality, the skill, the talent, the goal scoring, the age, the future to be a brilliant striker at Arsenal, and maybe a couple others. And I'm not saying he is going to go, but I like a striker who can do something like wow, and he's got that. Kai Havertz has done brilliantly for much of the season. However, Havertz was one of those who had chances on Sunday, even if he was offside on a couple of occasions, and there were a couple of times where Leandro Trossard or Martin Odegaard found a teammate with a brilliant pass through the lines. Having someone like Isak running onto those chances could have made a real difference. He is arguably one of the only players who had made Mickey van de Ven look ordinary in a race on Saturday, but as Mustoe notes, Newcastle are highly unlikely to be willing to consider bids for Isak. Replacing him would be nearly impossible, and it would be a worrying statement about the progress they are hoping to make. Arsenal, on the other hand, are looking for those final pieces of the jigsaw, and you could completely understand why Isak ticks so many boxes. Manchester United move ahead of Liverpool and Arsenal in race for €40 million transfer. Manchester United are reportedly now ahead of the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal in the race for the transfer of Bayer Leverkusen right-back Jeremy Frimpong. The Netherlands international has been a world-class performer for Leverkusen this season, playing a key role in Xabi Alonso's side, winning the Bundesliga title in a surprise triumph over Bayern Munich, who had won the last 11 titles in a row. It now looks likely that Frimpong will be on the move this summer due to the €40 million release clause in his contract, with a host of top clubs looking at him at the moment. According to Spanish outlet Toto Vigaches, it's now Man United leading the race for Frimpong's signature, with the Red Devils eager to sign a new right-back this summer to give them an upgrade on Diogo Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It now seems the three teams left in the race for Frimpong are United, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, with Liverpool and Arsenal seemingly no longer in the running for the 23-year-old. At one point, both the Reds and the Gunners had also looked like strong contenders to sign Frimpong, but if he makes the move to the Premier League now, it will most likely be to the Old Trafford. It would have been exciting to see Frimpong in this Arsenal side, perhaps providing a more attacking mind option than Ben White to link up with Bukayo Saka, while his arrival at Liverpool might also have been an intriguing tactical experiment, moving Trent Alexander-Arnold into midfield. Still, Frimpong could also form an important part of a new-look United side, who will surely be making plenty of changes this summer after Ineos partly took over the club and assumed sporting control, while there may even be a change in manager. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.